Hello guys, welcome back, and in this lesson we are going to consider how to use try catch and DB transactions. So currently what we are doing here is that if there is any error, the error goes back as in a very unstructured way. The user doesn't understand what happened, he doesn't have any idea, he doesn't know how to debug, which is a very bad experience. We need to structure the error in a way that the user can be able to understand and maybe revert back, yeah, or at all we need to return a message that the user can relate to. So with that, we're going to start to use try and catch. Just start here by saying I'll use try here, and then I'll move this statement inside here for now. And then if there is any error, we'll just catch the exception here. Say catch, and then I'll say exception like this to this, and inside here if there is any exception, of course we return a JSON and not just unstructured file here. So let me import this. And then now on the data, now instead of returning this, of course we return an array here, and we'll just say that the message here will be error, and maybe the for now let us just return the exception. There is get message for the exception. We'll edit this later, but for now let us just do that. So I'm just going to copy this, and then I'll go to the store here. I'll paste this guy, I'll remove this line here and these two guys here. I drag them inside the try here. Just format that. That is okay. And then I'll go down here to the show. I'll paste this guy here, remove this, I'll remove our return inside the try like that. I'll format this, and that is okay for now. And then I'll also do this inside the update. I'll paste this guy, I'll delete this line, I'll move our two lines here inside the try here, and I'll format all of this. That is okay. Then inside our destroy, I'll paste this guy, and I'll delete this line, and I'll copy this, I'll move this inside here, I'll highlight this, I'll format that, and that is okay. So now we have the try and catch statement. So any error will occur, the user will get the message, and now the status code should be 500 because it is a error. So I'll just return 500 like that. I'll return 500 like that. And lastly, we return 500 because 500 is the status code for the error, not 200. So that is fine for the try catch. The next thing that I want us to check is that when we are storing this data here, we need to be very careful on how we store data. If there is any error, we don't want to store that data in the database. And for that case, we'll use DB transaction. So the way we do this, I just say DB, and I'll say if there is I'll start a transaction here. Let's do this, and I believe there is begin transaction like this. Need to import this, import class. I believe this is a static method if I'm not wrong. So once the transaction are started, then it will perform the try catch. And if there is any error, or once the try has gone on successfully, then we can commit this. Once we have saved in the database, we can perform db commit. So I need to do this and say commit like this. And if there is any error, then we need to roll back. So that will go inside here, and this will be rolled back like this. Why is this giving? Okay, it is okay. Anytime I store data, if there is an error, don't store the data, but rather roll back the transactions. So for sure, you can leave it like that. For update, of course, we need to db transaction here, say db, say begin transaction like this. Then if the data has been stored here, you can say db, say commit like this. If there is any error, I'll say db, I'll say rollback, and that is it. So that is it for the product. Yeah, that is it. If there's any error, then rollback. Also for the destroy, we need also db begin transaction because you don't want to delete data if there was an error. And then if there was probably I need to say here like this, delete, and then like so before I return uh, this guy, and so I can commit here. For the data here, you can just say data. For this case like this, the response, this will be data like that, and we are good. So inside the cache, we can just say db rollback, and that is it. So we are good guys for that. I'll do the same thing for the user, and then we can be able to move to the next lesson.